Hey guys, Rick Stone here from Stony Acres Gardening. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take you on a tour of my fall and what will eventually become my winter garden. So we plant stuff in early August here in Utah that will provide a lot of food for us in the fall, and then a lot of that will actually carry over into the winter months as well. And so I'm going to run you through the garden, let you see what's happening. Filming this video on October 28th. It's our last warm day. Tomorrow the bottom is falling out of our weather. We're going to drop to about 44 degrees, and then it looks like we're going to be in the low 50s for at least the next 7 to 10 days. So fall is here, winter is coming soon, and so I thought that I would come out and show you what the garden looks like this time of the year. We've already had our first killing frost. That was about a week ago, and so all the tomatoes, everything is gone, and we are just left with the cool season crops that we are growing for the fall. So let's go take a look at the garden. So first off is this little bed of beets. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot of expectations for this. We got it planted a little bit late in the year. We'll probably just use most of these for greens. I do see a few plants that have started to develop roots, but if you guys remember, we had problems with voles in our yard, and I haven't completely gotten rid of them yet. And I've noticed that there's a little bit of vole activity here, so we're probably most likely going to lose most of these. So this beet bed is most likely just going to be for greens. So we'll use these as salad greens. It's in a spot that's not going to get a lot of sun here in just a few more weeks, and so I think that we'll probably just plan on using these as beet greens. I'm not expecting any root production really from this bed this year, so we'll try again next year with this area, but I think next year I'll have to plant it a little bit sooner. This is where our garlic was. I didn't plant right away, and I probably should have. So maybe next year we'll have a little bit better luck in this area. But for now, we'll use these as greens and it'll all be good. Next, we've got this bed of root crops. So 3 different things going on here. We've got radishes, which we've already been harvesting from a little bit. Some of these have gotten a little bit too big. That's okay, I don't love radishes anyway. So we've got a little bit of radishes here. Then we have some turnips, which are looking really nice. In fact, let me pull one up for you here. Just starting to size up and getting some nice turnips. So these will actually stay here in this cold frame for the winter. We'll harvest as needed, and they should last most of the winter. There's not a ton here, but we also don't eat a ton of turnips. So, I would imagine that these are going to last us well into January or February with the turnips. Some of the radishes are a little bit smaller, and we may continue to eat those. Here in front, we have carrots. So 4-foot rolls of carrots that are coming along nicely. These probably won't be ready to eat until January, and that's okay because we don't really want to eat them yet. We've got plenty of other things that we're going to be eating from the garden. So we'll let these size up, we'll let them sweeten up. They'll be really nice to eat, and they're doing pretty well. We've put this cold frame in. Cold weather, it's like I said, is coming tomorrow, and so we'll put the lids on the cold frame to help protect them. It'll kind of be, the lids will be on and off here for a while, but that's, we're hitting the cold weather. So carrots, radishes, and turnips in this bed that will all last us well into the winter. We'll be eating these in January and possibly even February still. Next, we have this kind of mixed greens bed. So most of this was planted intentionally. A little bit of it is volunteer. So you'll see as I do this cutaway here, you'll see there's some leaf lettuce. That's black-seeded Simpson. That's actually volunteers. We had some lettuce here last year that I let go to seed, and those have kind of come up. But we've got spinach in here. We've got, a dozen, maybe 20 plants of spinach, several different varieties of lettuce, including some of our favorites. We've got Swiss chard, we've got tatsoi, bok choy. There's a little bit of Minzuna, which is a mustard that we are trying this year. We grew it last year, thought it was okay, so we're going to give it another go this year. It's kind of getting disadvantaged because it's right here by this big, beautiful red lettuce plant. But once we harvest that lettuce, I'm sure it'll kind of take off over the winter. So this is kind of our mixed green bed. We probably won't do much harvesting from this bed until late December, early January. That'll give these plants time to size up, and then we can go ahead and start harvesting then. So good variety here, that is going to last us most of the winter. You'll be really surprised if I do an update. This bed will really fill in nicely over the winter and look really good. So cold frames in place here too, and we are ready to go. So now let's go check this bed out back here because I'm super proud of this one. Okay, so this bed I'm super proud of right now. It looks amazing and is going to be very productive for us for the next month to 6 weeks as we move into the winter. So this is our lettuce bed, our first lettuce bed. And these lettuce plants were started indoors on August 1st. So I planted the seedlings indoors on August 1st. We transplanted them out into the garden on September 15th. It's now October 28th, so they've been out for about 6 weeks and they look amazing. Delicious varieties, some of our favorite varieties. We've got, this one is called magenta, we've got a fusion, and then 2 rows of Nevada, which is one of our favorites. Also in this bed, I threw in a few carrots, which are coming along really well, and then we just recently planted a few butter crunch lettuces as well. So those will kind of mature. And then right there in the back, if you look really close, is some arugula. We don't love arugula, so we only put in a couple of plants. And those will kind of just mature over the winter, and we'll throw them in dishes occasionally here, but we don't love arugula, so we don't plant a lot of it. But super excited with how well this bed looks, and the lettuce, we're already eating it and it's delicious. So super excited about that. Over here, we have an area that doesn't have a cold frame on it yet. Hoping to get this cold frame built right away because the cold weather is here. Just a few more varieties of lettuce. This is one of our favorites. It's called Larry's Red. It's a variety that we got from a friend about 15 years ago and have continued to maintain ourselves. And so over the years, I've selected for this super dark. It didn't start out this dark, but I've selected for this super dark seed. And it's just beautiful. Behind it are just several butter crunch and some winter density. You'll notice that they're looking a little bit ragged. This is one of the amazing things about lettuce. These plants, we had a flock of quail come in one night, and I hadn't covered these with anything, and the quail, for some reason, they left the red lettuce alone, but they attacked the others. And that was about 3 weeks ago, and it's taken this long for those plants to recover, but they're actually recovering and looking pretty good. We're going to put a cold frame on the top of these. This is a new spot for us, and so I'm building a new cold frame. We'll put this cold frame on the top, and hopefully we'll be harvesting from these in January. Kind of depends on what our weather is like over the next few months as to whether these will survive. Lettuce is not the hardiest of plant, so we'll see what happens, but should be fun, kind of a fun experiment. And like I say, we'll put a new cold frame in here. So more lettuce there. Okay, now we're over in our raised bed section, and we've got some beets. These were planted in early July, and we're just now harvesting them. They're finished and ready to go. Not a ton, a couple of dozen plants here is all that we have, maybe not even that many. But these are ready to harvest, and we'll be pulling these out right away. Then over here, we have kind of an experiment that I'm running. I have never grown lettuce under a hoop house here in Utah, but the last couple of winters have been very mild. And so I thought I'd give it a go. So we've got several different varieties here. Let me look. So we've got some butter crunch, we've got some Paris Island Koss, and some black-seeded Simpson, and then a few other plants that we just recently threw in. These were planted by seed. You'll also notice that there's some carrots back there. Those are actually volunteers. I let a plant go to seed this year so that I could collect seed. Some of the seeds fell off and I don't have the heart to pull them out. So we'll see how that does. We're going to put just a hoop house over the top of these, so that hoop will go on tonight, and as we start having to worry about protecting them. But again, more lettuce. You'll notice a theme. We have a lot of lettuce this year. All of our kids are adults now, and so everybody eats our lettuce. So it's not just my wife and I that are going to be eating all this lettuce. We're going to be giving it away to our adult family as well. And then last but not least, we have our hoop houses. Right now we still have just bug netting over the top of these to protect them from the bugs. Tonight, everything that's in these are pretty hardy, so I may leave the bug netting on for another week or so because it's mostly kale and Swiss chard in here, so I'm not too worried about it dying. But relatively soon we'll switch this out to plastic. We'll put plastic over, and these will last for the season. So let me open them up. These are on hinges, and so they open up. And we've got in this bed a little bit of lettuce again that we just threw in. And then we are going to plant some mosh and claytonia in the rest of this bed for an early spring harvest. Then up here in the front, a little bit of kale that we won't really be harvesting until probably March. Then back here in this one, we've got a bunch of big Swiss chard plants. These have been in for a long time. We've kind of been eating at those all through the season. And then this is kind of our winter kale patch, which is looking a little ragged because we had an aphid infestation that I've had to really try and tackle. We've sprayed them 2 or 3 times. I've washed them off with water, sprayed them with an organic insecticidal soap, and then we've washed them off with water. They're looking a little ragged, so we're a little disappointed, but I'm sure they'll snap out of it as the winter kind of goes along. So that is our fall and winter garden and our tour of everything that we have happening here at Stony Acres Gardening. And again, we love winter gardening, and so most of this stuff will continue to go over the winter. If you want to learn more about winter gardening, I have a little free mini course you can sign up for. It's down in the description. There's a link down there you can sign up for. It's about 45 minutes long, and it's 100% free, so you can go sign up for that if you'd like. Okay, let me know what you thought of this garden tour. Thought it might be fun to see what things were like in the fall. It's not nearly as big as it is in the summertime, but a lot of fun stuff happening, and we'll be eating a lot of this all the way through the winter. The carrots, the turnips, the spinach, all of that will last all the way through the winter. So, all right, that's all I have for you for this week. Everybody have a fantastic week. Happy gardening.